Hi everyone, I'm Dr.Animaction. Welcome to my first video celebrating the holiday season, in which I'm going to refocus back into the core concept that I founded this channel on, action cartoons. For this video, we'll be looking at the top 20-ish or so episodes of animated holiday action from the 80s and 90s in, and I can't stress this enough, alphabetical order and not ranked by any criteria. No specials, no movies, just episodes of the best action cartoons of the decade. If it's not on this list, it's probably either not action, not really animated, or didn't hit the air before Y2K. Enough intro though, let's get these reindeer moving. We'll hit the ground running with a true classic from the 1992 holiday season with Batman the Animated Series' episode, Christmas with the Joker. This one sees the Joker kidnap Commissioner Gordon, Detective Bullock, and Summer Gleason before taking over a TV station and televising their humiliation. It's up to Batman and Robin to not only save the trio, but precious TV airtime for running holiday specials as well. And they do just that, rescuing the three and sending the Joker packing off to Arkham to spend his holiday in a padded cell. Ho ho ho! As proof that even aliens have the holiday spirit, next we have the 1994 Biker Mice from Mars episode, Chillzone. This one sees the evil Limburger attempting to steal all of the Earth's water. Sure, that would mean no living creature could survive, but even worse, it would mean no snow. The Biker Mice roar into action to save skiing, sledding, and, well, drinking, I guess, and preserve the holiday season. Eventually, they're able to overcome Limburger and ensure the presence of fresh powder for all. Ho ho ho! Not only are aliens on Earth all about the holidays, but those on other planets are as well, like the aliens of New Texas in the Brave Star episode Tex's Terrible Night from the 1987 holiday season. This episode puts Tex Hex in the role of Ebenezer Scrooge and Shaman in the role of, well, a couple of ghosts in the space western take on A Christmas Carol, complete with holiday music. Brave Star doesn't even have to lift a finger when the good of the holidays infect the worst of the bad, and Shaman is able to convince Tex to do what's right and save Christmas all on his own. Ho ho ho! Well, that's fine for humans, I hear you say, but what about animals? Well, Darkwing Duck and the citizens of St. Canard celebrate the holidays in It's a Wonderful Leaf from 1991. This one sees villain Bushroot witness how retail-crazed people get this time of year and attacked by a mob of angry shoppers. In true villainous fashion, he vows to ruin Christmas by doing things like kidnapping and posing as a mall Santa, causing Christmas trees to rebel against revelers, and of course stealing presents. Darkwing has to stop the villain while Gosalyn and Launchpad return all the presents in time to save the season. Ho ho ho! Honestly though, you don't even need a brain to enjoy the holidays, as Earthworm Jim proves in the 1996 episode For Whom the Jingle Bell Tolls. Jim's feeling the season so much he defeats an attacking Queen Slug for a butt with some festive decorations. Enraged by such a thematic failure, she decides the best way to get her revenge and take over the world at the same time is to kidnap and brainwash Santa, by convincing him that the holidays are too stressful so she can go with him on his deliveries and plant brainwashing chips in all the people of the world. Jim's love of the season wins out though as he's able to convince Santa he's being used, to which Santa responds by defeating the villain himself and going about his Christmas responsibilities. Ho ho ho! You know who doesn't like Christmas? Raptors that were born 65 million years before the whole core conceit of the holiday. Extreme Dinosaurs' 1997 Holiday on Ice episode has bad rap heading out to melt the North Pole and put a stop to holiday happiness the world over. And as a side effect, I guess submerging 12 to 14% of the planet's coastal landmass and drowning countless people, none of which is as bad as ruining Santa's stomping ground. Speaking of stomping ground, the Extreme Dinosaurs show up to keep that from happening and get a gift for Pork's nephew at the same time. Ho ho ho! One surefire way to mess up the holidays though is by getting a bad gift, and they don't get much worse than the presents that were delivered to the headquarters for their kids' toy drive in the 1985 G.I. Joe A Real American Hero episode, Cobra Claus Are Coming to Town. While working on sorting toys for their toy drive, miniaturized Cobra soldiers and vehicles emerge from the boxes and overwhelm the Joe's defenses. Defeated and captured, the Joes are helpless to stop Cobra from using Joe vehicles to attack civilian targets and turn opinion against them. Shipwreck and CoverGirl manage to get loose and free the others to fight back, taking to the unused Cobra vehicles to chase down the fraudulent Joe convoy. The worst case scenario almost unfolds though as CoverGirl is hit and starts plummeting toward the ground. But in a true Christmas miracle, a giant Polly swoops in to save the day and help defeat Cobra. Ho ho ho! Okay, so don't tell Santa because it would probably look bad, but I lied a tiny bit in the intro. This next one actually is a special, but I couldn't very well leave HeMan and Shira off this list. In 1985's HeMan and Shira, A Christmas Special, a battle against Skeletor to protect a new spy satellite accidentally ends with Orko getting stuck on board and shot off toward Earth. Man-at-Arms is able to use a teleport beam to bring Orko and the satellite back, but the little wizard brings a pair of Earthlings and their Christmas tree along for the ride. They and a Manchine puppy named Relay are captured by Skeletor, but while delivering them to Horde Prime, the villain is infected with the holiday spirit and ends up saving his prisoners from Hordak, the weather, and wild animals along the way, before releasing them. The Eternians learn the true meaning of Christmas, and Adam dresses as Santa to give the kids presents before transporting them back home. Ho ho ho! Even the most secretive of secret agencies get in on the holiday action too, like the Men in Black in the 1998 episode The Black Christmas Syndrome. When evil alien Drac kidnaps Santa Claus, there's no one better equipped to rescue him than the MIB. With the help of one of Santa's elves, who are of course secretly aliens, J and K track down the wayward pair. Turns out Drac was hired by a race of childlike aliens who needed Santa because they wanted a Christmas of their own. Being the jolly old elf he is, Santa's happy to provide one for them at the end of the story. Ho ho ho! Let's head back to Gotham again a few years later for the 1997 episode of the new Batman Adventures called The Holiday Nights, which was the premiere for this entire new series. This episode actually spans the period between December 22nd, conveniently today, if you're watching this, on the 22nd, and New Year's, relating a trio of stories set during the festive season, and most importantly showing that Batman can relax for a few minutes as he sits down to share a drink with Jim before disappearing into the winter night once more. Ho ho ho! Barely making my cutoff for air dates to be eligible for this video is a holiday celebration with everyone's favorite pocket monsters. The Pokemon episode Holiday Hijinks aired in December of 1999 and finds Ash and friends attempting to catch a Jinx on Christmas Day. This particular Pokemon has an important message though, and lets the trio know that Santa's been captured by Team Rocket. They set off for the North Pole on a raft powered by their water-type Pokemon, and on the way there, Jinx is captured and learns that Jessie is angry because a Jinx stole a present of hers when she was a child. That Jinx had actually taken the doll for repairs, but Santa wasn't able to return it since Jessie had since stopped believing. Undeterred by the moving story, Team Rocket proceeds with their plan to steal Santa's presents, only to get sent blasting off again by the combined forces of Santa, Jinx, and Ash's group. Ho ho ho! All of these secret agents and superheroes rescuing Santa are all well and good, but when you really need someone to get the hard mission done, then there's only one man you can call. In Rambo, the Force of Freedom's 1986 episode called When Savage Stole Santa, that's exactly what happens. While visiting an old friend who gave up a career as a rocket scientist to make toys for a local orphanage and deliver them dressed as Santa, Rambo and Turbo are forced to stop a scheme by General Warhawk and his henchmen to kidnap the kind old toy maker and force him to make weapons for them. Of course, Rambo and his team succeed, and Christmas comes to the orphanage just as planned. Ho ho ho! This time of year, there are few stories as widely adopted as Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, but that particular tale wouldn't be very effective without the ghosts, so when they disappear in the 1986 episode of the Real Ghostbusters called Xmas Marks the Spot, it's up to our heroes to step in and fill their shoes, at least until Egon can track them down and get them back on the job. Of course, this wouldn't be a problem if they hadn't been grabbed and tossed in the containment in the first place, but what's a Ghostbuster to do if not bust ghosts? Ho ho ho! The holidays are such an important time of year that even the near destruction of the entire planet can't stop people from celebrating them, which is exactly what the Robotech Defenders do in 1985's episode Season's Greetings. As the bridge crew of the SDF-1 plan their upcoming Christmas party, Chiron leads an attack to try and capture some protoculture and sets off an explosion in the middle of the city. As the Defenders fight the resulting fires and rescue the injured, people begin singing Silent Night, proving that even tragedy can't diminish the power of the holiday. Ho ho ho! From the space western setting of New Texas to a space western of a different frontier, Saber Rider in the Star Sheriff's episode The Monarch Supreme from 1987 sees the Star Sheriffs fly to the rescue of King Jarre as his forces attempt to recover a stolen ramrod from the forces of Gatler. The addition of Saber Rider, Fireball, and Colt turn the tides of the battle and allow them to reclaim the mighty robot, which they quickly use to send their enemies packing. In recognition of their heroics, the Star Sheriffs receive an invitation from the King to attend a royal Christmas party. Ho ho ho! As long as we're on the subject of royalty, let's talk about King Koopa. Specifically, let's take a look at the 1989 episode of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show called Koopa Claus. Ranting about his hatred of the holiday, the evil lizard plans to use a sleigh full of ice bombs to freeze Santa's workshop solid. On his way to do just that, he's spotted by Mario and his companions, who set off in pursuit. They manage to knock him out of the sky, but not until after he's frozen the workshop, and Koopa grabs Santa and ducks into a nearby cave. Unfortunately for the reptile, though, his continuous yelling causes an avalanche that sweeps him away as Mario pulls Santa to safety. The warmth of the Christmas spirit thaws Santa's workshop, and his deliveries are able to proceed as scheduled. Ho ho ho! Of course, that wasn't Mario's only holiday adventure, and we got to follow him on another one in 1991's Super Mario World episode, The Night Before Cave Christmas. In this one, Mario decides that bringing Christmas to the people of Dome City is just what they need to cheer the population up, even though it's the middle of August. Koopa, of course, isn't a fan and steals all of the presents Mario had been planning to hand out. A Santa-adorned Mario bursts into Koopa's castle on the back of a flying Yoshi to reclaim the presents and rescue a captured Ogtar. Returned safely home, Ogtar drifts off to sleep as Mario delivers presents to the rest of the city. Ho ho ho! One thing missing from quite a few of these holiday episodes, though, is snow, which as a native of western New York is unimaginable during the holidays. Tailspin's Rebecca feels the same way, and in the 1990 episode A Jolly Molly Christmas, her daughter decides to write Santa asking for that very thing. Baloo and the others set a plan in motion to convince the young Molly that Santa's real and grant her wish, but due to the untimely intervention of the Sky Pirates and Louie's obviously alcoholic patrons, the plan is ruined. Dismayed that she won't be able to grant her mother's wish, Molly stares forlornly at the sky, where she catches a brief glimpse of a figure disappearing behind some clouds, moments before it starts to snow for real. Ho ho ho! There certainly are a ton of fake Santas on this list, but not nearly as many as we see in the 1995 episode of The Tick called The Tick Loves Santa. This story sees a criminal dressed as Santa discover a way to duplicate himself, and as an army of faux Father Christmases, he sets out to take over the city. The Tick doesn't know how to deal with the situation, as he firmly believes in the goodness of Santa and can't believe that the old present bringer would do anything evil. Eventually, the real Kris Kringle arrives to set the Tick straight and put him back on the right track towards saving the city. Ho ho ho! Now, obviously not every criminal hates the holidays, and that is especially true for a certain world-famous thief. In the 1995 episode Just Like Old Times, From Where on Earth is Carmen San Diego, we see the title character steal the chief AI from Acme headquarters after Ivy and Zack leave for the holidays. In a sort of role reversal, Carmen finds that the chief has a series of clues to holiday-themed heists, and feeling up to the challenge, she sets off around the world to carry them out. The pursuing detectives miss every chance to snag the slippery Carmen, but eventually track her down to her hideout, just like she had planned. Effortlessly escaping, she leaves the group from Acme in her fully decorated lair to open gifts left for each of them of Carmen dolls with a taunting holiday message. Ho ho ho! Last, but certainly not least, we kind of end where we began in the world of comic books. This time we turn to the New York City of the X-Men in Have Yourself a Morlock Little Xmas from 1995. As the team is busily decorating the X-Mansion and engaging in various holiday activities, Jubilee and Storm convince Wolverine to go Christmas shopping with them. While out and about, they run into some of the sewer-dwelling Morlocks, who tell them that the young power nullifier Leech is sick. After a transfusion from Wolverine, Leech successfully makes a full recovery, and the Morlocks invite the team to join them for Christmas dinner, while Jubilee hands out the presents that she'd bought to the Forgotten Mutants. Ho ho ho! And there you have it, a selection of 20-ish great holiday stories from the best animated action shows of the 80s and 90s. YouTube actually has quite a few of these available, and I've collected them all into a playlist for your viewing pleasure. Let me know if you have any favorite holiday cartoon episodes from this era that I may have missed in the comments, and check back for some more content like this over the next few days. Happy holidays, everyone, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned and stay tuned, as in cartoons. Later.